Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Avexia webinar series. Our topic for today is Doctors, You Can't Win in a Rigged System. Build a 7-figure practice on a 3-day work week. My name is Christopher Chu. I am the Director of Marketing for Avexia Diagnostics and will be your host for this webinar. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of being joined by an exciting guest, Dr. Charles Webb, who will be our presenter today. After building several practices in the insurance fee-for-service model, Dr. Webb made the decision to sell his business and walk away. Although he had found financial success, he missed out on life. Quote, "The model is dated and is built to hold both the doctor and the patient hostage," he stated. Since 2012, Dr. Charles Webb and his team have been educating healthcare providers in a different practice model, one that empowers their patients to journey towards health as a destination rather than simply managing their disease. His proven strategies allowed him to build a better practice that allowed him to be the dad he always wanted to be, afforded him date nights with his wife, and enabled him to take family vacations. His $3 million per year practice gave him freedom while working on a 4-day work week with just 5 staff members. Through FPC, these strategies are now available to you. Without further delay, I will now turn the webinar over to Dr. Webb.
Hello guys, Dr. Charles Webb here, and thank you so much for taking some time out to work on your business. My intention is to be respectful of your time, and so I'm going to move at a pretty good pace. I know you've probably got a lot of questions, and here's what I'm going to ask so everyone's time is taken care of here. Please put your questions in the chat. I've got a couple of my team here that as we go through this, they're going to be able to answer pretty much everything that you throw in there, but there's going to be an opportunity for me to get your questions personally. So in order for us to get through this and get you as much information that you can use, that you can implement, let me just start moving. If you've got a notepad, probably be helpful. Cup of coffee, keep you alert. Keep everything off. Just stay focused. This is for your business. And if you have a business that you truly want to build that's going to give you back an extraordinary life and serve your patients at the highest level, your clients, whoever you are, you're in the health field. I know that, I would assume. But let's just really take this seriously. I am going to give you some really good information to walk away with. And so as I go through this, remember the chat. Put stuff in there. There's also going to be some links in the chat. And I'm sure all of you are aware of how to get to the chat. You've been on plenty of webinars since the last 3 years. So just look in there whenever I say it, but your questions and so forth. But so let's begin here. 4 steps to building a 7-figure practice on a 3-day work week, 4-day work week. Bottom line, how can you take your practice and become more efficient to where you can actually profit a nice living off what you want to do? Serve the public, serve your community, whether you're brick and mortar, virtual, taking care of people at a higher level. Can we enjoy an extremely extraordinary life, Charlie, when we do that? Well, yes, we can. And as I go through this, I'm going to present a different model than what you're used to. And I'll be introducing some people that have been through the program, so you get to meet them. Hopefully you've done your research on me and my team and my program, FPC University. I like to call it Freedom Practice Coaching. But do your research as someone that's either getting into practice, your own practice, or you've been into it. You always want to surround yourself with people that know a lot more than you in regards to what you're doing, so you can become not just proficient, but that so you can master. So let's get moving on this. If you don't already have my book, Escape the Rigged Healthcare System, I built this book intentionally to be read in under 90 minutes, and I did that because most books are not fully read today. People don't like to read. Doctors probably more so like to read, but generally speaking, this is for any kind of health practitioner out there And it really will take you through why the rig system, that I call it, whatever you want to call it, the traditional fee-for-service, symptom-based disease management system, why it was never intended to work. It's a business for profit. So if you're in that system, and you'll know, you probably already know, but we'll know as we go through this, I'm going to show you not how to manage that system. That's not the way you're going to get out of the mess. I'm going to show you how to escape it and go into another system to build the kind of life and the kind of practice that you want in a personal. If you don't have this book, I want to send you a hard copy. Again, go to the chat. In the link, you'll be able to go get that, and I'm going to I'll need your address. So if you go to the link, you're gonna be able to get that. But I want to send you a hard copy, and you'll get it. The minute you send off, not only will you have the hard copy on the way, you're going to get an ebook, because I know some of you want to read right away. So why do I want to send it? Why do I want to spend money? Because it doesn't cost you a thing, not shipping, no nothing. Because people don't read ebooks. Why do I know this? I research all the time. I want you guys to read it. So if we get a hard copy that you can read in an hour, there's a high probability that you'll finish the book, at least get much further than an ebook. So no, that's my gift to you for being here. I want you to get it. Share it with a colleague, what have you. So should you be here? Well, I'm just getting ready to start a practice. I'm not a businessman, woman. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a practitioner. I'm very proficient. I'm competent as a doctor or practitioner, but I don't have that training as a business owner, and I realize probably wouldn't be smart for me to wing it. Okay, starting a practice, you should be here. I tell everyone, no matter what kind of business it is that you're starting, whether you're a practitioner, whether you're going to sell cupcakes, I don't care what it is, first employee you hire better be a coach, better be someone that's been there, done that, or you're going to experience what we call ignorance debt, which is opportunity cost, which means a lot of money goes down the drain trying to figure it out. Looking for a better model. So you're in your own practice. Or maybe you're not, you're just tired of that model. So either you're going to go into your own practice, or you're like, man, I've been doing this for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It's just not paying off. It's Groundhog Day. I just want to know that I can get ahead, I can enjoy life, and I can just be on purpose, and I want to keep doing this the rest of my life. Great, you should be here. You want to scale. Maybe you're already at the mid seven figure level. Money's not a challenge for you. Freedom's probably a challenge. Maybe the impact you make with your clients, your practice members. So whatever reason you're here, hang out for the whole time. Again, you've already set the time aside. If I start getting into this and it doesn't resonate at all with you, which I can't imagine, but if it doesn't, I get it, right? This is your time, and I'm going to respect that. Listen, let me read this off here, and I want you to just listen to this for a second, because it's going to help you understand where you are. Is your offer value-driven or price-driven? What do you mean by value? Well, what are you offering as a practitioner? Your service, your products, whatever. Is this value-driven or price-driven? If you're selling your services and products in the fee-for-service model, you're price-driven, and by default, a commodity. I'm going to help get into this more so you'll fully engage and understand. But the bottom line, if the product or your time, if those things are what you're generating revenue on, your commodity, there is no distinguishable level of exchange, financial exchange, between you and the guy or girl that graduated last in class and they suck. There isn't any difference. You're both selling apples. So I want you to get out of that situation. It's not your services and your products and so forth that is what the value is. They might be the plane ride. That might be how we get to the end. It's the end point that suggests here's the value. This will give you a good idea. So let's talk about the orthodontic model. You guys, many have heard this many times. If you've watched any of my stuff, you've probably seen it as well. So if I look at the orthodontic model, there is the service or the product, and in this case, Invisalign, where we wear several of these as we go through the year and a half process, 2 years, whatever, and over time we generate the outcome, and in this case, a beautiful, confident smile. Okay, so if I am focusing on this right here, well, that appliance might be $200, right? I can't really see how it's just a piece of plastic. It's molded, okay? Yet this beautiful confident smile, well, that is a $7,000 investment. Why is it $7,000? That's the going rate for a beautiful confident smile throughout the United States. You might be able to find a little bit less, a little bit more, but generally speaking, we just put braces on my son a couple of years ago, and it was $8,000. We didn't get an invoice that says, here's how many rainbow rubber bands you're going to get, Dr. Webb and Mindy. Here's the braces and the cusp and how many. And this is the wires that you're paying for. And this is the visit. We didn't get any of that. We got the expectations. And what the outcome was, did we want to make the priceless opportunity, the investment, so my son could have a beautiful, confident smile? And that happened to be $8,000. And we gladly said, thank God for orthodontists, that my son can have a beautiful smile. So we're going to get into this a lot too, and how that can be created no matter who you are, no matter what kind of physician, how that same program system can be put into your practice. Okay, what I want to do right now is a quick exercise before we get to the 4 keys. So once we get through this, I'm going to quickly introduce you to what, if we want a business that works for us, what's needed, what has to be there, and what are we not proficient in. And then I'm going to dive straight into the 4 keys, and we're going to go through each one of those in detail so you can fully understand how this model does work. By the way, I did not figure all this stuff out myself. Do we have a model that works? Over 800 clinics suggest that it does. Does it work on entrepreneurial laws? Yes. Do those entrepreneurial laws work for any business? Yes. Not just this, real estate. So this isn't something new under the sun. I simply took it, worked with some top-level entrepreneurs to help bring it into the health industry that I knew was broken, and now we've got this. So this little exercise that I'm going to go through is something that we teach our clients to take every one of their prospect patients through. And you'll understand as I go through this. And this is how you get people to understand the value of themselves and going through a program that helps them get to the destination, and why people, yes, will invest a tremendous amount high ticket cash for their health. Because a lot of people go, oh, people, they don't want to pay, cash for this. Yeah, they do when they see it as an opportunity. I always tell physicians, if you have the mindset of people don't want to pay cash because they're not paying me, don't suggest that that's true for every other practitioner. It's true for you, maybe some of your colleagues, because they don't see the value in what you're describing as valuable. I'm not saying it's not valuable, but their perception is not. It should just be covered by insurance. That's not their fault. That's the system, and we've fallen into it. So before we can understand whether, number one, whether I could ever coach you, I need to know if you're coachable. Whether you can coach a practice member, you need to understand if they're coachable, because in the cash model, if we're going to move more toward that to empower people, they have to be influenced and care enough to make change, because there is no such thing as empowerment and improved health without a change in their daily actions. You can't fix people with drugs and supplements alone. It's not going to work. That's a fantasy land. People have to change their lifestyle. So I want to cover real quickly what we typically hear from you guys in the current situations you're from, what you don't like. So let's do this real quick. I usually, when I do this in front of a group of people in person, I let them kind of throw these out, but we're not going to have time. Throw them in the chat, though. We'll look at them, and maybe we can throw a few more out here. So the bottom line, what we typically see is, I don't like insurance companies. I'm tired of having pencil pushers decide what I should be paid. I'm tired of having 50% of what I bill never coming to me, so it costs me that much to even get an insurance patient. Underpaid for my value. I believe I produce or help empower people. Sure way, bottom line, I'm not getting paid what I believe I should command. Time freedom. I'm working my butt off. If I'm not at the office doesn't work for me. Problem. Lack of autonomy. I'm not able to truly do what I want to do because the insurance companies don't want to pay me, or I haven't figured out how to put this into a model where the patient is paying me and seeing that as a true investment and worthy. So I'm not able to really practice the way that I want to. Non-compliant patients. No one wants to work with people that don't care about themselves. And I'm going to show you how to just work with only those that want to work with you. So hang on, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's not as hard as you imagine. And I will give you a hint. More people will be compliant than you imagine. We just aren't being very good coaches. Minimal time with patients. It's like a cattle herd or whatever. No one wants to play that game. Not getting ahead. So here I am. I've been in practice for 15 years. What's going on? I don't have this huge savings. I'm not putting away like I thought. I'm not giving back to the community. And it's like I got to start over every month. It's not a lot of fun. Personal health decline. I can't tell you how many practitioners come to us not in shape. Blows my mind. It's like that's. I mean, you're trying to convince someone that they're important, that their health's important. And they need to be changing the way they do things, the way they eat, the way they exercise and rest and this. Yet we're not doing it, and a lot of it is because we're wrapped up. We're trying to be physicians and business owners at the time, and by the time the day is over, we're like, man, I didn't create any time for me. So I get it, but we're not being congruent in the message that we're sharing, and so we'll end up subconsciously having this imposter syndrome, kind of like, man, why aren't my people, why aren't they making these changes? Well, you're a mirror to them. You're not, and they'll see that. So we do need to, one of the things that I really pride myself on with our program when we work with clients, the main reason that they stay for way past our agreement period, way past and continue with us, is because of who they become and how they take care of themselves and just the extraordinary life they create beyond the wealth part, but themselves. So personal health, if we're going to be in this wellness model that is taking the everything by the storm today and leaving the old model behind, we got to take care of ourselves. So is this acceptable or unacceptable? Well, if you're someone looking for help and you're looking for a coach, and I did this exercise with you, I would tell you, if you told me, well, I don't like it, but it's acceptable, I would personally tell you, well, when it becomes unacceptable, look me up again, come back. I can't coach you until it's unacceptable. If we're willing to stay in the desert and keep walking around the mountain, I can't help you until you said enough. I need to get out of here. Great. That's a good starting point. So if we need to leave the desert and we're going to go to the destination, what I call the promised land, then let's take a look at what that looks like. And here's again some things that you tell us. Non-dependency on insurance. I get clients that do take insurance. They're called hybrids. I'm not saying that you have to get rid of all of it. We can help assess whether it would be a good idea or not, because we can dig into the practice and help you understand what you're making money on, what you're not making money on, how much time it takes, the bandwidth and everything else. So there are some situations where it does make sense, but your profit situation is always going to be higher on the cash side, and to be non-dependent on insurance allows you to make a move anytime you need to if insurance continue, and it will get worse, but you just don't want to be in that place. I want to spend more time with my family. I mean, when you build a business, first and foremost, you build a business for you and your family. A lot of times doctors go, well, no, it's my patients first. So you're telling me that it's right, and your wife or your husband would rather you take better care of your patient than them and your kids. No, it's you first. So we have to build a practice around what? The life that we see, that we're building here. So we can use discernment. Once this is done, let me go through it and I'll show you. I want a 3 to 4 day work week. What's wrong with that? Who says you're supposed to work a 5 day work week? I want to have increased value, increased wealth. I want to be able to scale my business. Accountable patients, people that want to co-labor with me. That's what I want to work with Charlie. Okay, better patient outcomes always. I don't care how good we all are. A lot of us have done a great job in this. We can always do better. There isn't a place where someone can say, oh, my patient outcomes are perfect. If you're there, congratulations. I never got there. I don't know anyone actually that got there that doesn't want better. Practice what I preach. Stay in shape. Take care of yourself, right? And this is, can I commit to this? Can I do what it takes? Because being a business owner, if you're already there, it's not for the weary. A lot of times people come on and I'll be doing assessment. And the first question I ask them, all right, Dr. Thompson, tell me why you're here. Are you sure This is what you want. Are you sure you want your own business? Because it ain't for the weary. So once we know that here's what we don't want, desert, here's what we do want, the promised land, committed, then the decisions we move forward and create the business, we can use discernment on what the business model looks like, because no matter what decision we make, the decision, the trade-off should be here. This is what we get rather than here. And most doctors end up building a model that paints them in a corner, and if they're not there, they don't make money. So they don't have most of what I have over here because they didn't do this prior to building the business. They didn't figure out first what their lifestyle looked like, then built a business around it. They built a business for one and one only reason: to survive, to be able to generate money. I get it, but now you've painted yourself in a corner, and making money, no matter how much money you make, it isn't necessarily a good life if you've missed out on these things. So this is an exercise, imagine, that you would do with your practice members, to where they see this destination as the value. Just keep that in your mind. The value isn't your stuff. They don't care about your stuff. They don't care about your degrees. They really don't. I know we think that the more certifications and degrees, the bigger dog that they'll think I am. It's just not true. Your competence will show with your reviews. Your competence will show on how you take care of yourself. Your competence will show on how you interact with people and your competent level. All of those come together with what you're able to do, what you're able to show, and how you're able to move them to change their life. Whether you're a personal trainer or a specialist, it doesn't matter. I got a personal trainer that owns 3 practices since he started with us. The medical doctors work for him, and he's got a wellness type of practice. So we have to think about this. My competencies as a practitioner, great. Most of you are overly competent. You keep going back and trying to get more and more, and that's fine, but you're not taking the time to go to school of entrepreneurship, so we never get to profit off of it. So the desert land, we have a gap to get to this promised land. And there's a bridge we got to go over, and it's a very fearful place because we don't have the tools, we don't have the knowledge or the experience on what it's like. I don't know how I can build a 7-figure practice, Charlie, on a 4-day work week and have these freedoms. Well, that's the bridge. So you've got to find the answers. There's always formulations to get to the answers. Just like, I don't know how to put this Rubik's Cube together. Well, that's okay. You do know there's a formula. And once you know the formula, there's no more fear. We can happen really quick. So what I'm going to show you is how to go from here to here in a new way, okay? Right now, you're the bridge. And often being the bridge, we have all this pressure on us. We're wearing all these hats. I'm going to show you how many. We're looking down. See, if I'm the bridge of this, I'm looking down into the abyss, and that becomes gray, that becomes scary, and I can't make any changes because I'm holding on with my fingertips and my feet, trying to get this thing going. And somehow or another, I have this idea that somehow I'm going to be able to figure it out. Well, you will in time. I can be honest with you. A lot of people go, well, you figured it out. Well, yes and no. What I figured out is I didn't know what I didn't know, and I went and I found entrepreneurs, so I didn't figure it out by myself. I invested over $1 million into my education of entrepreneurship over the last 20 years. And I continue. I sit with a group of top-notch entrepreneurs now that have done extremely well. We hold each other accountable to a high level. These are, there's 2 doctors in the room. The rest of them are other entrepreneurs. There's 12 of us. So I never stop. I practice what I preach. I would never tell you guys to get a coach if I didn't have a coach. All right, so I don't want you to be the only bridge. And right now, I'm gonna spell this out on what a practice should have if you really want this practice to work for you. And then I'm gonna go into the 4 P's that are going to allow you to not be overwhelmed, that are going to allow you to see this completely very clear on, so if I just do that, I can delegate this stuff. Yes. Think, delegate, delegate, delegate. Entrepreneurs don't all know it all. In fact, most founders of businesses are usually the ones, well, they're the visionary, but if the business is truly successful from that particular business, that founder, it's typically the founder that becomes very good at promoting him or herself and great at communication, okay? So they don't necessarily have the skill sets of the operations or the CEO position or the technologies or any of those things, yet when you look at the business that they have those in place, either through a system where they've hired out on a fractional basis, like a Starbucks has a fractional CEO, Schultz, fractional COO, and the business itself has all the team trained under the system. So that would be a system type deal where some businesses start and the founder starts off being the CEO and eventually hires one that has built big businesses, like 8-figure businesses, to take over that, to scale that business so the original founder can do what they do best. And it can't just be the cook in the kitchen. It can't just be the practitioner. I mean, it can, but you'll never have your freedom. I'll show you why. So let's take a quick look at this. If you say, Charlie, I really just want a boutique practice or a hobby practice, this doesn't apply to you. You can build a $30,000 a month practice pretty much by winging it. It's not difficult if you have a few of these keys down. But if you really want to build a business that can generate 7 figures or more, that can work while you're gone when you're skiing in Tahoe, that can give you enough wealth to give back to the community, that can help you hire more people, impact more people, all of those things, this is an absolute. Okay, so I call these the 10 areas of competence in the practice. And let me just go through these real quickly with you. We have hiring and training. We have systems and operations, marketing and sales, metrics, finance, technology, leadership development, public speaking, patient education, revenue models, personal development. Now that sounds like a lot and it can be overwhelming. Let me just help you understand something. I would not expect anyone on this event right now to be proficient, let alone mastery of all of these. So feel good about it. You don't have to be. Am I a master of all of these? No. Am I proficient at all of them? Maybe not. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm an entrepreneur every bit as much as a physician. And I can say when it comes to hiring, I'm not the best, but we have systems, right? We have hiring systems in FPC. We have hiring systems that we train our clients, that we help them so that those take place. Am I good at training? I'm great at training. I would say I'm probably a 9 or a 10. When it comes to operations, though, operations is the systems of the business, how it works. I'm not that good, nor is it that interesting to me. I'm not a great manager. So I have this taken care of. Marketing and sales, I'm pretty damn good at both of these. And that's because I've spent years and years and years. But I can tell you, in the world today sits social media, and I'll cover this more in detail as we go through the 4 Ps. You're probably not going to become very proficient at marketing. That's okay. When you get there, I'll show you that we got marketers that handle this for all of our clients. Metrics, finance, I'm pretty good. Technology, probably a 2. Leadership development, I'm pretty good. Public speaking, I'm very good. But for the most of you, if I went through this and knowing that I'm not that great at all these, but I do have 3 companies and we've done extremely well. It's because I've learned to put the right people in place. But if you go through and you say, Charlie, man, on this, I'm averaging out maybe a 3 out of 10 here. And if you're not very high, if you're not averaging at least a 7 on average here, the question becomes this: should you hire you to grow your business? It sounds kind of foolish now, knowing that. Well, that's like hiring my chef to run my restaurant. Well, that's crazy, but that's what happens in the world. Some guy graduates or girl graduates from Cordon Bleu and they go open up a restaurant. Well, I can open up a restaurant. Good luck. It's not cooking. It's a restaurant. It's a business. Yet as practitioners, we're extremely competent in what we do, but we don't have anything behind our business yet. We take a massive risk with our finances, with the future for our college kids' money, and all that's huge. because I'm going to go be a surgeon, but I'm not going to have any background experience in being a surgeon. Someone's going to get in trouble. And that's the way it is with your business. So I'm going to come back to this and show you how you can get all of this together fractional so you don't have to be a big focus. Now, don't be overwhelmed with this, because here's the truth. If you get these down, these 4 Ps, you're golden. Let me make this even more simplified. One gentleman out there that I consider a master marketer and one hell of an entrepreneur is Alex Hormozy. This guy, I think, was worth, $100 million by the time he's 32. And he's old school. He just looks at things in a very simplistic manner. That's the same with me. I've always been old school. Look at it, simplicity. Don't mess it up. And let me make these 4 keys even more simplified, and then we're going to go through each one of these at a time. So think about this. People come to me sometime with a business plan, and if they tell Kristen, who manages my calendar and works with people to get on it, if they say, hey, let me finish my business plan because I want to show it to Charlie, she'll just say, no, he's not going to look at it. Not out of being rude or time, because a business plan isn't worth the paper it's written on 9 times out of 10. It's kind of like Michael Tyson made the statement, everyone has a plan until they get in the ring with me and I hit him in the face and it goes out. So yeah, I have a business plan until I open my doors, and then crap hits the fan. So in a true business plan, and this is according to Alex Hormozy, I'm not going to steal this from him, I'm giving him credit, but I believe it. Number 1 in your business, 2 parts of a business plan. Number 1, what is your service or your product that you're passionate about? If you're in business and you've chosen something just to make money, it can work out, no doubt. Are you going to be fulfilled? In my personal experience, no. Are you going to be able to generate more wealth and be fulfilled if you find something that you feel is impacting the community at the highest level? In my belief, yes. And that's the way that we teach. So if you found a service, say, for example, Charlie, I want to move more into the wellness lifestyle of things. I want to, and it doesn't matter whether I've got cardiologists, orthopedics, ophthalmologists, psychiatrists, personal trainers, nurse practitioners. No matter what their niche is, what they're working with, there's always a place for the patient to co-labor. Always. Even pre and post-op, always there's a place. And if that's your mindset, then we can find, hey, my service is to help people co-labor and make an impact on themselves and change their life away. Okay, do you have passion about that? Then I love it, Charlie. Now, can we generate wealth from that, or are we just hoping it's a new idea? Nope. We know we can, right? I mean, I got over 800 practices in lifestyle approach to healthcare. Yes, you can generate as much wealth as you want. So there's first part of the business plan. I know what I want to do and I'm passionate and I'll bust my ass to do it. Second part of the business plan, get new clients. That's it. If those 2 you don't have, nothing else in your business plan means anything. It's just trash. It doesn't mean anything. It's just numbers, like when we throw stuff on. So we're not going to play that game, but I am going to show you if making an impact and getting clients, these 4 pieces, you're done. You're solved. You become proficient at these. All those other things I just showed you, you can hire people. You can hire a company like ours that go in and we handle that. So let's go through these one at a time. Promotion. You've got to get your name out. If people are telling you, hey, Dr. Webb, you're the best kept secret in town, you've failed. You failed because you're broke. You want people to be screaming your name, and everywhere you go, everyone's like, oh, I see you everywhere. I see you everywhere. You're on morning shows. You're everywhere. So we have to promote. If you have a service or what you believe that you can do with people and you're not promoting, I'm questioning you why. Do you not believe in helping people? Do you believe that if some lady doesn't hear from you, that's okay because you're not promoting? So some doctors are wishy-washy on this, and maybe they don't like marketing. That's okay. Have someone do it for you. But why would you not want everyone to know who you are? If you got the cure to cancer and you're just going, I'm not going to market, I'm just going to wait for referrals. A lot of people are going to die. So you need to know how to promote, get your name out there. You're going to move people into what we call pre-education, then into the consultation we call practice member reval. It's an interview, and they're going to move into a program. So promotion, if your marketing is sending people straight into a consult or a call or whatever, you're not going to, it's not going to work very well. because you're moving people in that are uneducated in the new model. So think about this. The majority of people, probably 100% of everyone that you move into one of your programs, which I'm going to get into, they're going to work with you, and they're going to work with you in a way that's different than simply, here's your diagnosis, Susie, here's your meds, when you hurt again, come back. We're not playing that. There's someone else can play that, okay? What we're doing is diagnosing and determine what's going on, root cause. Let's figure out where you want to go, Susie, and let me show you a plan to get there. And so 90 to 100% of every single person that walks in your practice, they already have a doctor. They already have one. Because some of you are primary care doctors. Well, I don't know if my patients will do this. Well, they do because I got them. Every one of my patients, I was doing well over $300,000 a month in cash programs here in San Antonio, Texas, with a household income, $48,000 Hispanic. All of them had a primary care doctor. Why weren't they giving that to the primary care doctor? Because the primary care doctor was a commodity that just offered stuff that their insurance could take, and they weren't happy for it. They just didn't know they had any choices. Once they came to my pre-education event, they came in and got on a program because they found out there's a better way. So we don't want to ever skip this pre-education. So let me go into this and you'll understand in more detail why I'm saying that. And by the way, as I go through this, I will show you just a couple of examples, and you guys can look them up. I know social proof's important. I think I'll try to do this. I don't know if you can, Chris, and I'm going to have you put in a link that can take them to reviews if you guys want to click on that so you can just hear from other people. But let me share a couple. This is Dr. Anna Maria Temple. She's pretty big out there today. Some of you maybe have heard of her or seen her, but she started ground zero here with me and my team. And her goal when she first started, she says, Charlie, my goal is to net 150 my first year, which is a pretty good goal. Not collect 150, take home 150 first year out of the box. Not bad. We helped her triple this. Took home $450,000 her first year, collecting up to $83,000 in a single month. So that happened because the system's been proven. She followed the system. She gets the credit because she implemented it. The system can be perfect. The Rubik's Cube formula is perfect, but you have to actually move the cube, right? So, and the other thing I want to let you guys know, some of you are on a time deal, and maybe you thought this was going to be a 25-minute deal. It's about 50 minutes. So if there's going to be an opportunity, but I'm sharing it with you now. There's a link. If you start going through this, it resonates with you, and you're saying, I need to have my situation assessed. I want to know, is this the right choice for me? What do I need to know before I pull the trigger? Or what am I messing up on now in my current practice, Charlie? Or how do I break out of the 7 figures, get to 8 figures? That's going to be an assessment. But it starts off with talking to one of my team. And if they think, hey, you know what? I believe you're probably in the right place here. They will get you on a call with me personally. I'm going to be the one that's going to assess your current situation and then take you through strategy. So there'll be a little homework before that so I can effectively look at it and be able to help you from eyes that have done this hundreds of times as someone to come in that's an expert that says, here's where your challenges are. Let me open this. And I got it. So if we do, when we work with our clients, we guarantee your success. And if we don't get to that place, then we work for free. You can't get better than that. So anyway, that's there. You don't have to click it now, but I know some of you might leave early, so just be aware that that's in the chat, and you can get that. So let's go through the 4 P's. Number 1, promotion. Okay, promotion we can do organically, which means I'm not going to pay for a marketer, right? It's partnership type of marketing. It's boots on the ground, and I can actually go to different areas. If I'm going to be local, I can build up relationships in my community that I can do pre-education, talks, etc. I can do social platforms. I can get on Facebook and Twitter and all of these, and I'm going to get my name out that way, okay? I can also get on YouTube, etc. So some of you have tried this, and you've probably discovered it ain't what you thought. It's not automatic. It's not, I put my sign up, they will come. And we found out, oh crap, this ain't so easy. And there's a reason for it, but marketing has become extremely challenging. That's why we have marketing partners that handle all of that for my clients, but I'll dig into it a little bit later. Paid marketing. So either you're going to take your time to get the name out, or you're going to pay to get that stuff out. And paid marketing means you can do it yourself stuff, which means, building the ads and all that, or you can have someone do it for you. Okay, so organic, paid. If right now you say, well, Charlie, I don't need to market, I'm getting referrals. Great, you should. Then my question is, if I ask you to double your practice over the next 6 months, that's probably going to require you getting more referrals. Are you in control of that? Well, we know the answer is no. So if you're not in control of your referrals, you don't own your practice, your patients do. You should have referrals. It suggests that you're doing a good job. And bravo, I want you to get a whole bunch. If you said, hey, 50% of my practice is referrals, great. That's really good. But then again, it's relative to what 50% is. If you say I'm getting two clients a month and one of them's a referral, that's not good. If you're getting 30 new clients a month and 15 of them are referrals, you're kicking ass, right? But those 15 that are not referrals wouldn't be there if you didn't do one of these. So we have to be in control of the knob to expand and scale our business. If we're not growing, we're always in this place of falling. It's falling. We're holding our head above if we're not growing. Growing allows things to continue to pattern out, and it's just another entrepreneurial law. So whether you're growing slow, fast, whatever, you've got to be in a growth state. So let me show you paid marketing, done for you marketing. Here's why we do it. If you go out, there's a lot of coaches out there that go, we're going to teach how to market. Great, I can teach how to market, and our clients do learn how to market. The majority of them don't do it on their own, and here's why. Here's what you'll run into. Think about this. Right now, in your practice, you're probably wearing the hat of the practitioner, cooking the kitchen, now probably the CEO, whether you should be or not, but you're trying to build a business, and now I'm going to ask you to do this. Create your ads. Do you know how to create ads? Because not all ads work. Most ads suck. And if you don't know how to create ads, no one's clicking on them. Okay, that's an art, and it's a different art according to the social platform that you're on. Number two, you've got to purchase this space, right, to get the ads out. So that's going to take time. You need to know how to do it. Am I getting a good deal? When should I purchase? Should I purchase around Christmas? Not around Christmas? Build your landing pages. So you have a website. 90% of the websites that I see with prospects coming to us are built incorrectly. They're built as commodities. They're about the doctor and their services and about whether they take insurance. That's not an effective page. That is a commodity page, buy my stuff. And we help you guys understand how to bring a page out that's about the prospect, not you. But a landing page is specific to whatever it is you're taking them to, whatever that destination is, right? Super dad, super mom. So you're going to have to learn how to do those. Write copy for your email follow-up. Well, there's several follow-ups that are going to be in copywriting. Well, there's some things like chat that can help, but chat can really help mostly in rewriting what you've wanted it to do. So can it write real effective copy? In the future, but right now, if you don't have someone that knows your industry that's writing this copy, again, it just gets trashed. Keep your stats, constantly test. So if like we have marketing partners, and the reason I bring them in, I don't want any of my clients at risk because of the marketing element. If they're going to grow their practice, whether they have us as a coach or they're on their own, marketing's part of your business. If you're not willing to invest into the goose that lays the golden eggs, if you're not willing to invest in marketing, you probably shouldn't have your practice. You should work for someone. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just the facts. It's just, if I really love my business and I want it to grow, I have to feed it. I have to bring new clients in. Remember the two things: service, clients. So our marketing partners handle this for our clients. I just want you to be aware of that there's those opportunities. You can certainly find your own marketing people, but if you do, you want to make certain you know what to ask them. You know what you want, social proof. You want to know how effective they've been in the market. Now, number two, pre-educate. Remember, marketing takes people to the pre-education process. Do not attempt to move prospects into cash programs without this. Now, if it's just a fee for service, don't worry about it. You're not changing the mindset of people. You're just cash instead of insurance, like a direct primary care. You don't need this. They're just still managing problems. They're not becoming empowered to change their lifestyle and become super dad, super mom. So your marketing, the job of the marketer isn't to give you a new client. The job of the marketer is to bring you a prospect into the education process. This is an exact formula based on what we call the hero's journey. What's the hero's journey? Think of Lion King, think of Star Wars. It's an exact formulation used to make plays, etc. That moves people to influence change to be the superhero. And all of the elements that we put together for our clients, their talks, etc. The reason they work and the reason people go from that pre-education piece, webinar, what have you, into the interview one-on-one is because they now understand that their opportunity is a priceless opportunity working with this new practitioner, because their job isn't to manage their disease process. Their job is to empower them to escape it and go to the promised land. And they see that as a priceless opportunity. So if we miss this, you're going to be going, oh, people don't want to pay for the care. No, they've been indoctrinated to believe that they're just going to get old. Their genetics plays the major role, and it's not their fault. And you're the doctor, and you're supposed to fix them by God, and they're entitled because of insurance. That's not their fault. They think that way. That's our fault as a system. We call them patients. We ask for their insurance. So we're telling them, you have no control of your health, and you shouldn't pull your wallet out. You should give insurance. We taught them. So if you stay in that system, you can only manage it to become more efficient. You're still a slave to it. It's not until you say goodbye. I mean, an orthodontist doesn't need to be in the system. A personal trainer doesn't need to be a system. A high lifestyle coach doesn't have to be in the system. The minute you're out and people understand that you're much better, they don't mind pulling their wallet out, because the investment they see is going into themselves. So we take all the swords off the table to get them prepared, so when they come in, they're empowered to take charge of their health. They want to take action. So this pre-qualifies. Think about if you're talking one person at a time in the interview, and you're trying to pre-educate them, you're done. You have no time. You're screwed. You need to talk to several people at a time, whether it's 5, 20, 30, or 40, or 50. You need to do a webinar, live person, whatever it is. Right now, I'm talking to a lot of prospective doctors, practitioners that could become a client. If not, I'm educating them to a higher level. I'm still moving practitioners out of the model into a better place, and that's my goal. So it's a win-win situation. But from this, many of you have already clicked the link to set the call up. Many of you will click it when we're done. Many of you are going to say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. It resonates. I need to know more about my practice. How can you help me? Am I a fit? What's this look like? How much time is it going to take? When can I expect profit? What's the investment? All of those, that happens one-on-one, and the same with you. But think about this, the people that are coming in one-on-one, we're not going to wing any of this. We're not going to wing the pre-education. We put it together for clients. You don't wing anything. You're dealing with someone's life. You don't wing the practice member eval, which is the consult. You don't wing it. This is a continuation of the hero's journey. And so when your prospect shows up, here's what they know. They know that you don't take insurance, but they're there. What does that imply? It means they're willing to invest their cash, their hard-earned money. That's what it means. Number 2, they know you are not responsible to fix them. These are the swords we take off the table. In that pre-education, they're going to know you don't take insurance, and they're going to be totally okay with it, because they're going to learn insurance doesn't cover things that have to do with health. They know that your job isn't to be the fixer. They're human beings. They're changing. They're in control of that change. The created beings, they have the opportunity. When we focus on health, the disease goes away. When we focus on disease continues. Right? You don't focus on diabetes and it go away. You focus on eating right and exercise, it goes away. So you're not responsible to fix them. You can take that off your plate. Some doctors, when I hear them, I heal my patients. No, you don't. It's a wonderful, noble thought, but you don't. You support it. You empower them to heal. So they understand there'll be a plan. It will take time. And they're there, which means they know it's not an overnight fix. You don't have an open backdoor policy. They're going to commit to a specific time, like the person committing to the beautiful smile, 2 years. I'm not saying that's your plan, but it's the same process here. They recognize this is an investment, not an expense. When my son got braces, we recognized that's a priceless investment. That, thank God for orthodontists. When my practice prospect members came in and become clients, they're at 7, 8, 9,000, whatever that program might have been. My average program was 8,000 here in San Antonio. That didn't mean I didn't have small programs too. I mean, everyone had an opportunity to work with me, but generally they averaged out around 8,000. And people saw that as, thank God that you're doing what you're doing, Dr. Webb, because this is a priceless opportunity for me and my family. I can't make this kind of return with my 8,000 sitting in a 401k earning me 2%, $20 a month. No, I'd rather put it into me and my future. So that's what's going to happen there. And then they're going to move into a program. And so when I say program, we're going to meet them where they are. There's some people that, hey, 2-3 months might get them where they want to go. It might be 6 months, might be a year, but every program will include things like diagnostics. I imagine the majority of you here are doing some kind of diagnostics. So that would be in the program, all inclusive in the program. Remember, the program just helps them understand the plane ride. The investment is into them and where they're going, the destination. Diagnostics, education. Okay, if you're not educating your clients with an online course, if you think you're going to do it one-on-one, again, you're missing the boat and you're never going to have time. I have another company called Viability. It's an online university that our clients send all their patients through. Why? It's 5 hours worth of education at least. I don't know, it might be more than that. And if you they're going to understand what their diagnostics mean. They're going to understand different types of diets. They're going to understand different kinds of supplements, how to detox. They're going to understand vitamin D and B12. They're going to understand bad things like glyphosate. They're going to understand thyroid. They're going to understand more about health than most doctors by going through that. Now they're empowered. Without being empowered, they can't implement, they can't make changes. You are not to be the one to do this. If you had 10 new clients a month and each one required 5 hours of your time to educate them, that's 50 hours a month or 16, 17 hours a week. You're just repeating yourself time after time after time after time. And people don't learn that way. They learn in a structured environment like a classroom. So we have that taken care of for you. And if you want to use ours, fine, build your own. Show you how to do that. Specific treatments. You may have specific treatments that go along, but we're not placing the value on the treatment. It's part of the plane ride. You might have practitioner visits. You will. They'll follow up with you. And in a model like this, the practitioner typically only follows up once every 4 to 6 weeks. And then you might have a health coach. Maybe they follow up once a month, so they're getting touched twice a month. So real quickly through the programs, I just wanted you to get an idea what that looks like. So if we go back again, okay, do we need hiring and training if we want a real business that's going to generate wealth? Well, the answer would be yes. Do we want systems operations? Yes, yes, yeah. All of these are yeses, and we want to be competent. Okay, you got to be competent on really only two things: pre-education and the interview. Those two. We come in, if we work together, just so you know, we bring all of this. You're hiring Charlie Webb and my entire team, just like, well, I'll show you an example here in a second of what a coffee shop looks like. Lone wolf with systems, and you'll see the difference. So you don't have to be competent in all these things. You can't afford me to come work for you or anyone on my team, but you can afford us on a fractional level. You'll see what I mean when I pull up an example. So the 4 P's get you to the promised land. Don't be overwhelmed with the other stuff. That we have faith now because we have a system that's been proven to work hundreds and hundreds of times. Will it work for me? 55% of our clients are medical doctors or specialists, 45% nurse practitioners, DCs, DOs, naturopaths, other. 72% have a current practice. They want to do better. 28% brand new practice. Here's another quick story. Dr. Jeff and Anna Hunter, when they started with me 5 years ago, zero, didn't have anything. We had to help them find a room to rent out of an office. They were at zero. In 5 years, built over a $2 million a year practice. Last summer, they bought their dream house along with 5 acres in Colorado. And last summer, they took the entire month of July off. Now, they've moved from my foundations coaching program into my legacy group, which is a higher more educated, involved. These are entrepreneurs. They make it to that, in other words. So just another beautiful story. And Jeff was actually here not too long ago, just about 3 weeks ago, spent a day with my CEO because him and Anna want to take 9 months off next year. So they were setting the office up to be able to do that. Those are the kind of things that we do, especially in the legacy group. So again, if we look at competence level, as a practitioner, you have 8,000 to 12,000 hours, guys. Investment, most of you 200 to 400,000. Competence, probably at least an 8 out of 10. But you want to have a business. That means entrepreneurial. So are we competent there? Well, education, usually 0 to 100 hours. So again, are we taking a risk trying to do this on our own? Do we really think that we're going to save money? You're not. You're going to burn through it. And instead of finding someone to coach you through it, whether it's us or someone else, right? Investment in your entrepreneurship skills, usually less than 50,000. Most people probably less than 15. I personally have got 7 figures here of investment. Competence, usually 3 out of 10. So we're basically the cook in the kitchen. Good cook in the kitchen, maybe a cordon bleu cook in the kitchen, but we need this person. This is the CEO. And they're looking at the stats and they're looking at the profit. They're happy because this guy is helping run the practice until this guy has his freedom. So you either have to get someone like this as a coach or get a system. Let me show you a system. Average coffee shop in the U.S., according to Statista, daily revenue $873, monthly revenue $26,000, annual $314. And it usually takes 3 to 5 years to get to this $26,000. I call that the boutique coffee shop. Right? It's okay. If that's what you want, cool. You can have a living out of it, but that's the lone wolf. Do you need all the systems? Nope. Starbucks, monthly revenue, $150,000. How long does it take them to get there? Month 1. 5.73 times the revenue coming here. Why? The systems I just showed you are here. So if you want a business that can do this and give you the freedom as the owner, then you need the systems. And so this person, well, I'm going to try to save money. Well, they lose $120,000 every month trying to save when you can get this for a monthly retainer or licensing fee or what have you. So here's what's unacceptable. I don't want to be here, Charlie. I want to be here. Here's some more success stories. Again, click the link if it's in there. I don't have time to look at it. Hopefully, Kristen will put that link in for you guys so you can do your research no matter who you're seeking out as a possible coach. Do your research. Make certain that the coach themselves not only coach you, but coach your entire team. If they're not coaching your entire team, you're going to have challenges. Imagine owning a Starbucks and Starbucks only trains you as the owner. Well, you know that's not true. They train everyone on the team. Your team's going to be working for you. They need to be trained. So again, real quickly, if this resonates with you and you don't want to go alone or you just want to get more information, book a call. Out of all the 800 clients and all the success stories, every one of them didn't just listen and say, okay, that was good information. No, they implemented, they took action because they saw their business as something extremely important for their life, for their future, for their kids. What's it going to hurt to find out more? So the person you're going to get on with is not a salesperson. The person you're going to get on with is going to determine whether you should get on a call with me by understanding who you are, where you want to go, what is your purpose, what are your struggles. Does it seem like you have what it takes? Are you in a model that we know that we feel 100% confident that we can get you where you're going? And if she feels that that's a fit, then she's going to set you up directly with me. And we're going to come together. We're going to give you a little homework so I can fully assess your practice. There'll be maybe even some more education for you to get ahead so you can come here fully engaged, knowing what we do, so I can get into strategy. So whether we work together or not, I'm going to show you enough that if you'll just implement it, you're going to make some great changes. So that's what to expect on that. But click the link. And guys, I just want to say that I really appreciate you being here. I respect that the time that you've taken to be in here, but let's make it an investment by, okay, let's continue this research. Maybe we're not the only one, maybe we're not the one, but whoever you're researching, you've got to get in and get answers from them. So let me help you with that. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was well worth your time. And I do hope to see you. I hope I get on a Zoom call with you and get to meet up and see about helping you guys out. So again, I appreciate you so much.